session.
Yeah. Yeah, Pushka's trying to set up the weird thing where like the CNCF account has OTP if it thinks you're dodgy. So which when I was in Singapore, I thought it was dodgy, and now Pushka is running into the same issues. But yeah,
You dodgy? Never.
nah. We just work in security. We're not dodgy.
Gotta watch out for those security people. They're always up to something.
Yeah. Pushka's gonna facilitate this meeting. I may get kicked out of my room in half an hour. We'll see.
Tell them you're having a very important multi-organizational meeting that you cannot be kicked out of.
That's true.
I think you all can hear me and see me now.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot for the wait, and thanks, Brandon, for doing the live streaming. Looks like we have some things to figure out in the background to make it easier for next time. Okay, cool. Brandon, did you do the usual announcements?
No, not yet.
Okay, we're just getting started. Okay, no worries. So let me do that. Do we have a note taker yet?
I can take notes.
Okay.
Is there one place where you want me to put it?
Yes, let me share that. So this is our attendance list and meeting minutes list. Just pasted on Zoom. I'll create a section for today's meeting.
Okay, I'm in.
So section coming in now. I had to take care of my KubeCon travel at the last minute before the meeting. So
That's
apologies. Yeah, apologies for that. Many hotels are sold out. So I wanted to make sure I don't miss that. Okay,
Yeah, there
so
was me in Valencia.
Hmm?
I booked my hotels late in Valencia, and that was a very big mistake.
Right, exactly. So, okay, so we have a section for today's meeting on of 0921. It's right here,
I see.
and you can all start putting in your attendance. While we are doing that, I'll announce the usual spiel that we come up with. So this meeting is recorded. We follow CNCF and TAG Security Code of Conduct, which basically means please be excellent to each other. Thank you for volunteering to take notes today. Do we have any new members who would like to say hi or introduce themselves?
Hi, I'm an infrequent attendee, but I hope to change that. I'm Malini Bandaru from Intel.
Yes, definitely welcome, Maldi. We've seen you around in multiple projects, so glad to see you in the meetings as well.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else? Okay, so we had a EMEA meeting last week, anyone who attended wants to share an update from that meeting, would love to hear.
Yeah, I was on that meeting. Let me refresh. We were talking about CubeEdge, a CNCF project where that's planning to go for graduation. So we talked through kind of like where they are with the self-assessments and the security reviews. They have created a self-assessment in the repo. And now that we're almost done with our previous security review, which is Argo, we're going to start ramping back up on security reviews for other projects. So next up, we have Captain KPTN. That is going to be next on the list. And as well, we have an open pull request for the CubeEdge security self-assessment. So the particular for this one, I'm going to put the link to the PR here. We're looking for folks to kind of look at this kind of, we call it the clarifying questions phase. To kind of look through the documents to see whether, are there certain things that are ambiguous? Are there things that, you think the project may be missing in terms of big, security domains that they haven't explored, or maybe certain parts of like the application of the model, the threats that they have not yet considered. So I would encourage folks that are interested. This is like a good PR to take a look at. Put your comments. The more the better, and this will help shape the self-assessment, which will then grow into a security review in the future.
All right, perfect. Thanks for the update, Brandon. I'm loving the fact that we are having these meetings now, and hopefully more and more new people are joining who couldn't make it to this meeting. Okay, that's the update on EMEA. Next is project updates. Any of the project leads in the meeting wants to share what's going on in their project, how we can help, and how they can, what they're excited about. That's coming next.
Michael, do you want to give the update, or do you want me to do it, the survey stuff?
You could get, because I think you have the info about the survey.
Okay.
More than I do.
Yeah. So just a little bit of background. So the supply chain working group has considered some avenues in which we can explore in terms of making CNCF projects more secure in terms of supply chain. One of the things we haven't figured out, and that's why we're doing this survey, is like, who should we work with, and what are the technology stacks that are common across CNCF projects. So we have the survey drafted. We haven't sent it out yet, but we'd like feedback from the community. So I pasted the link to the survey here. It will be nice if we can get some eyes here, and just drop a message in the supply chain working group Slack, which I'm also going to post here. Copy link. Yeah, if you're interested, if you see something that you think like, oh, maybe this should be considered to be added to the survey, or just like a small typo or phrasing issue, that would be good. I think we plan to send this out this Thursday. Well, it's tomorrow. So comments are welcome.
That sounds really promising. I love the fact that you have to only scroll 2-3 times to get to the end of the survey. Otherwise, sometimes surveys are really long. One question on the survey was, are any of the questions mandatory or all are optional?
Oh, that's a good question.
So I think they're all mandatory, but I think any of the questions, can be answered with like NA or, don't know or
right.
Unclear. Yeah, I think we've left a lot of the questions a little bit open-ended so that if people don't have a thing, then they don't have to. Yeah, but as far as whether or not they're actually mandatory, I think yes.
I just submitted an empty form and it works. So.
Oh, okay, then yeah. So I guess they're technically all optional.
All right,
Okay.
I will get that fixed.
Right. I mean, it's cool to have some of them optional so people can wrap up quickly with 5-6 questions that we really want. So just was curious. Okay. Any other updates from security pals, security reviews, controls, cloud native map? I have an update on white paper, but we'll wait for the others to chime in first.
Yeah, just really quickly on controls, we're wrapping up roadmap for what we think, really like the second phase of that project is going to be, and we got slated for October 5th, where we're going to present that to this group. If anyone's interested in looking ahead of time, I will put a link to it in the channel here. So.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot for the update, John. All right. I think we've covered everything. Please interrupt me if we missed another project. One update on the white paper is, as with tradition, with end of one version of white paper being published, this next one has to be published soon. So for folks who are following or not following, we published the second version in May of 2022 this year. The next version will be called version 3. We have gotten a lot of good feedback. I think more than 2-3 pull requests already on the markdown with some minor updates, some good suggestions on confidential computing. So, and also many people ask, like, what would it take for us to do this next time if we have to do it? So I created an issue a couple of weeks back explaining what entails, what could be the scope, what we need to do. That issue has gotten some comments so far. Savita has graciously volunteered to lead that next version of publication. So we don't have a date yet of when we would publish. For what it's worth, the first version was published in November 2020, and then about 18 months from then, we published the second version. A lot of things changed in the industry by then, so it was a good time to take a look. My guidance is going to be from Stag leadership perspective to Savita is, let's maybe start back a date it to publish by KubeCon Europe or KubeCon North America for next year, and start 7-8 months before that. So if you are interested, want to add a topic that you would like to author, want to just listen in on how it works, take a look at the issue for CNSWP v3. I'll just paste it in the chat. And yeah, if you have any questions now or later, please let us know on the Slack channel or on the Zoom meetings that we have.
Thank you. I like the links to the issue, please. I want to add a few new concepts in the question.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. And I know we discussed a bit about serverless also. So that would be another thing we would probably consider adding in the next version.
Yeah, and for the serverless components, we already have a paper, right? We should just
Yes.
consolidate that and incorporate.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. So this is the link. I'll paste it in the Zoom chat.
Thank you.
And just add a comment there, Aradhana, you know the drill. So
Yeah.
we can take it from there.
That's good. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Next up is general stand-up and check-ins. Anyone has any interesting topics to discuss? I suggested one in the announcement earlier this morning for the meeting, but would love to hear if somebody had a topic they want to bring up and discuss with the group. All right, with that awkward silence, we'll take it as no. So next up, I wanted to discuss is recently published, I believe, first or second week of September, PCI guidance from the PCI standards body on containers and container orchestration tools. Obviously, coming from PCI, there is a lot of focus on security for that. Some of us in the group were involved in the publication of it and contributed to it. Especially, you might have seen Rory's blog on how this applies to Kubernetes. So if you haven't taken a look at it yet, definitely encourage you to take a look, even if you don't work in payment industry or are not really interested in payment industry. It's definitely a good perspective from a third party who is neither CNCF nor Kubernetes or anything else tied to CNCF or Linux Foundation, and trying to explain how things actually look like if you want to secure your cloud native environment for something that's as sensitive as handling of credit card data. So this is the link to the blog, and the blog has link to the guidance. There were a lot of people, for context, outside of CNCF community who also contributed. So it was definitely learning experience for of everyone involved. And there is a list of tables, and we can go through the guide if people are interested in the meeting. But yeah, any initial thoughts if you have read it, anything that you thought would be good to have or was missing, or anything you felt like was really surprisingly great about it?
Action item, read blog. That's what I got from this. Thank you.
Yes, John has added a couple of good links from Rory about the PCI guidance, so definitely take a look at that as well. Both of those links are very useful for people using Kubernetes in that sort of environment. If everybody is interested, we can take the rest of the meeting two ways. We can go through the guidance as a sort of a working session together, see what interests us and start a discussion on it. Or we can do our usual stuff of going through the issues, trying to figure out what needs to be done for any of those that are open, look at open pull request. So leave a comment in the Zoom chat, which one would you prefer, and we'll go based on that. Or say out loud whatever your preference is.
Yeah.
So
Go
I
ahead.
guess I have a question. Are there any folks on the call here? Because I think I see a couple of new faces that want to contribute but don't quite know how to.
Yes.
All right. I think we'll teach you how to contribute. You said yes.
This is Kevin. I'm still warming up to the idea. I like the materials and the links and stuff. And so I'm digesting and trying to use them in my organization, hoping to contribute soon, but still getting my feet wet.
No worries. Welcome, Kevin. It's always, this is the phase I think every one of us has gone through. So much information, so many links, so little time to do everything. So just keep at it. And anytime you want some help or guidance on how you can get started contributing back, we are here. And to Brandon's point, we can also show as part of working session how you can contribute if that is of interest.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, so far 2 votes for going through issues. Looks like PCI guidance is going to lose out on the voting. Yeah, 3 votes for issues. So all right, we'll do that. So let me start sharing my screen in a minute.
We got issues.
All right, so you might have to give me access. No, I have access. Okay, perfect. So can everyone see the tag security repo?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Size is okay. Should I increase it or?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank
Okay,
you.
all right. So let's try that. Any better now?
Nice.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Good. So we have 132 issues and 15 pull requests. So let's look at issues. And maybe we can start with triage required ones so that we can take a look at those first. Okay, perfect. So Brandon, you mentioned one of the security reviews earlier in the meeting. Was it one of these two? Or
Yes,
something?
Cube Edge.
Cube Edge. Okay. So let's take a look at this.
Brandon, wasn't this the one I did already? You had sent to me.
That
Not sure.
was Flux, right? Or was that something else?
I don't remember, unfortunately. That's it.
I am just signing in right now so I can actually comment. So give me a minute. I had to switch my laptops because the login doesn't work on the laptop I typically use. So it's been a crazy day for me, as you can imagine. Okay, so should be good to go now. So share my screen again. Perfect. All right. So I see that Matt has
somebody else.
already, yeah, looks like he's commented and added a PR here. Looks like then we have triaged it really. Is that right, Brandon? So we could probably remove the label.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then let's add the assessment label.
Okay, perfect. Anything else that might be interesting? Maybe not. In progress, probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether we use it in progress.
Okay.
I think
Sounds good. All right, we'll keep it at that. Okay, so next one for triage required is the other security review. Kubevela. This is also with TOC for incubation, proposed for incubation. And Matt has acknowledged. So, okay, same thing, I think.
Yeah. So one thing I would check also for this, like if we go to the security assessment project bot, let's make sure it's in the project bot.
Here?
Yeah. So go to Project Classic.
Oh yeah, they changed the projects in GitHub recently. You're right. So security review, this one?
Yeah, I don't think they are part of that bot right now, so we should just add it since we took the label off. So I think add card.
Yeah, add cards. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with label assessment. Okay.
Right.
So in progress, maybe for both of them.
I think Kubevela goes into backlog. They don't have a.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So let's go to backlog. All right.
Flux multi-tenancy goes to in progress.
Okay. Glad you brought this up. We do have few more here.
Yeah, I think Cert Manager and Litmus Chaos both go in backlog. I don't think they don't have a requirement from TOC right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Just checking the chat if anyone has something. Okay, no worries. All right, so going back to issues, this sounds all right. Let's look at a few more. This is from August 11. Oh, maybe we can look at this first. Oh, this is for version 2 of audio recording, not version 1. Okay, never mind. Let's look at this.
Now that that is out there, Pushkar, I would like to request the team to express your interest in going for the audio version 2. And we could closely collaborate with Savita, Pushkar and the CNSWP version 3 so that we can stay in line and add the version 3 up to date as well.
Yes, good point. So for folks not aware, we actually have an audio recording of our full version 1 of Cloud Native Security White Paper, which was published in August, if I'm not wrong. And we want to do the same for version 2 and hopefully for version 3. So if you like to hear yourself in an audio recording talking about Cloud Native Security, leave a comment here or recommend somebody who you would like to listen speaking about Cloud Native Security. And if they are interested, they can have an audio version of our white paper narrated in their voice. I recommend Rory. Oh yeah, I agree. I think the accent helps. Okay, cool. Next one was review NPM supply chain proposal and make recommendations. So review the proposal and ensure it is in line with CNCF. Oh, Michael just dropped off, but let's see. Providing feedback myself. It's a good step. We'll be setting up some conversation with the leads. All right. So sounds like triage required probably can be removed here, but it can still be a suggestion.
Yeah, I will also maybe just ping Michael back on the issue to ask him to follow up on this.
Yeah, good point. I think it's been a month now, so good time to follow up again.
Just as a side note, whatever we're doing now, like as a member of the group, feel free to do this on your by yourself. As you don't have to wait for us to.
Yeah, exactly. This is basically to demystify what the chairs and TLs do in their time with tag security. This basically many of the things are similar to this, and all of you can do it. I was wondering, Brandon, should we talk more about the review process we added recently for non-leadership members to get notified about the reviews?
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Okay, cool. So maybe let's do a fun fork to the discussion. I'll try to keep it quick. And let's see. So yeah, so this actually was triggered when one of our very active contributors, Liren, wanted to get notified for any supply chain attacks that we keep a list of, so that they can review it and then give feedback. And with the way the code owners for GitHub works is you have to have write access to the repo to be able to get automatically tagged as a reviewer. And right now we had put a policy where the chairs and TLs and emeritus chairs are the code owners, and others wouldn't be the code owners because they won't have write access. So we had to thread the needle there, where we still wanted people to get notified with as a reviewer, and then have chairs and TLs be the people who can merge it. So we were thinking about different options, and eventually we came up with an idea that let's use a existing GitHub action that auto request reviews based on a simple list of people who are interested in different topics. So if you look at the updates we made, was there is a default reviewers group, which is code owners, which is identical to all the chairs and TLs list today. Then we have supply chain security reviewers, which are people who want to be notified about anything that is under the supply chain security domain. Then we have white paper reviewers right here, similarly, just like with supply chain security. And then these groups basically were mapped to different directories, so for example, security white paper directory and anything inside it, these group of people under white paper reviewers would get notified. For landscape, because it's so closely tied with white paper, the same people would get notified. Same thing for lexicon, and supply chain security would then be the other group who would get notified. So we have some other logistics, like if it's a draft PR, don't get people notified about it. And we also tried to do a random assignment so that not like 10, 12 people automatically get notified. So every time now among the group of people in different groups, only 3 or so people will get tagged by default for reviews, and then they can add more people if needed. So that's what we've done recently. So if you, for example, like Liren, want to get notified for a topic of interest and have cycles to actually review it, it might be a good idea to essentially open a pull request like this. Obviously, you can discuss it with us and we can talk about it a bit. And then, so just like Liren has done it here, you can add yourself in the list that interests you. So Liren added himself in supply chain security reviewers. So anything else that might interest you, you can have a discussion, add it, and then create a PR like this. We can discuss it over the PR and then go from there. So any questions on this? Lots of information probably.
Pushpa, can you just put this link in the chat so I can add it in the meeting notes?
Yes. All right. So as requested, this is the link. All right. Oh, looks like Brandon's on the move. All right. Okay. So going back to issues. Let's see. Yeah. So this is the version 3 white paper that we discussed. We've linked the serverless paper already here, version 2 plus confidential computing content. We have a retrospective that's pending for version 2. And then this is a guide on how we typically publish things in tag security. So this is actually useful for any of the other projects who are working currently and want to publish to see how things work, what are the things we need to do, etc. Next is Titan collaboration between CNCF TAG Security and OpenSSF. Okay, then Brandon has created this, and there is one more tied to explore a possibility of projects existing. Okay, that makes sense. And oh, Malini, you have a comment here already. So in this context is reaching out to CROB to jumpstart this effort. Do you have an update that we can write as a comment?
No, we just reached out to C-Rob and we're going to start this.
Okay,
So
perfect.
it's like all Intel, C-Rob's in Intel, Nico's in Intel, and we're
I
going
see.
to get making some progress.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks a lot for letting us know, and let us know if we can help in any way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree, Brandon. I definitely was surprised that it's not an default feature on GitHub where you can do what we wanted to do. Whenever I'm talking something completely out of sync, it's basically me reading comments for folks watching the recording. Going back to collab with tag observability. Let's see if we have comments. This was definitely a very exhaustive and very detailed issue. And there is some prior art. Michael is the stag rep on this. So let me leave a comment. Cool. So next up is we okay. We are 40 minutes past 10. We generally keep the working sessions more shorter than the learning sessions or presentations. So we'll do this 5 more minutes and then we can all drop off. Let's see how much I can finish in 5 minutes. So this is a presentation suggestion from Rom Dolph. And we tried to schedule it, but yeah, I haven't heard back from him yet. So I'll wait for maybe 1 or 2 weeks more and then we'll ping back again. Next up is proposed additions to supply chain security compromises. Okay. Okay, so no PR. So anyone on the call looking for a contribution opportunity, this is a good suggestion where you can add it in this compromises list in this table essentially. There are many PRs where people have added this, so you can take a look at an example for it. And what they're suggesting is, can we add these two and this one in this list? So would be a small PR with details about this. So if you see here in the table, it has a link to the compromise, year when it happened, type of compromise, and then more links to it. So, and there are some ideas in terms of how do you open a pull request for this if you want to add one yourself. So anyone looking for a contribution opportunity, this might be a good one to get started. Best way to show your interest would be to go to this issue link. I'll paste in the chat and add a comment saying, I would like to open a PR on this. And then one of us who have right access can assign you to this issue, and then you can start working on a PR. All right. Next up is analysis on SSCP on Salsa. So two acronyms, if you see here, secure supply chain paper would be the SSCP, and Salsa is obviously the framework that is related to supply chain security. If folks are unaware of the framework, this is a very good website to take a look, salsa.dev, and it has a lot of details. Many people in this group have worked on it, and I really look forward to how this continues to grow. So opening up the issue again, understand the gaps in today's tools in software supply chain and provide recommendations to bolster supply chain security efforts. There is a Salsa positioning work group, started a spreadsheet. Okay, perfect. All right. We'll do this one and then we'll drop off. So there is also another opportunity here. So if you want to take a look at the spreadsheet, Marina is looking for feedback. So read up about the issue, take a look at the spreadsheet, and leave a comment on the issue if whether you like the spreadsheet, what could be improved, etc. And let us know if we can help, if you can help make the spreadsheet better. All right. So with that, I'll stop sharing. Last call for any last minute topics or questions that you may have had after going through this working session. I'll pause awkwardly for 30 seconds, and after that, we'll say byes if no more questions.
Oh, this is great. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Aradhana.
Very observable meeting.
I am glad. Also, looks like you're out of your basement dungeon, which is great. Lots of light.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, same here. Okay, so no more. If no more questions, see you next time. I think the next meeting, I believe, is EMEA, and then we'll have one more the same time as this soon after. So take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.